Welcome to They See Me Rollin'. We're doing a bonus episode. Jodhi's in Malaysia and Ivan is somewhere.
So Ivan's in the cave that they live in or something.
Today joining us is, of course, Hayden, who is still in the United States of America.
As far as you know.
As well as two friends, one of whom you will remember, Ryan Lynch, from We'll Get It Right Next Year, Divisive Issues, and Oops, I Talked Politics.
Oops, I Talked Politics.
That's our, we only focus on issues of child health care. Oops, I Talked Politics.
Finally, the politic podcast for kids.
Thank you for joining us, Ryan. And, Ryan, it seems like you brought a friend.
Acquaintance at best.
I co-host two of those shows with him.
Yes. We have Sly, who is my co-host on Divisive Issues, and Oops, I Talk Politics.
Excellent. Welcome, Sly. This is your first time on our show, and we are super glad to have you on.
Now, I have a burning question that I've always wanted to ask you, Sly. Why do you associate with this man?
I don't even know. I don't.
That said, today we're going to be doing a game of Fiasco. For you uninitiated, it's a one-shot style game.
It's a one-shot, one-opportunity RPG.
Gotta live in this moment. Take it. Spaghetti bombs.
There's a whole setup process that we've already gone through, so we can go ahead and get to the story. So we're going to go ahead and describe our characters and relationships. And it's so great that none of us have come up with our character names. We can just do that right now. I will go ahead and name my character Gilberto Handsomeman.
Handsomeman?
Yes, Gilberto Handsomeman.
Okay.
Save name. There. It's now in Roll20 in case you forget.
He is a fine American man, doing all that he American.
Gilberto Handsomeman has a relationship with Sly's character, whose name is
Bobby Beretti.
Bobby Beretti. Works with Sly. Not Sly.
My character works for me, yes. I made him real.
Yes,
Sly's got a new startup.
Bobby and Gilberto not work together, but are business rivals as they both own hobby shops across the street from each other. Both of them are doing poorly, and they share one thing in common, and that is a Elvis bobblehead that is kept within within Gilberto's shop.
Not only was that you're talking about yourself, but you're using third person too.
And is filled with Bobby's cocaine.
Stan is the GM. Stan's
a great guy. I love him.
Stan will tell you to roll initiative now.
And actually, that's the thing about this game. There is no GM. I'm just kind of hosting this show because someone's gotta. All right.
It's a dirty job. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
All right. So, Bobby Beretti. I understand you have a relationship with...
My name is Buttons.
Buttons, okay.
Buttons.
Just Buttons?
My name is Sally Buttons.
Sally Buttons.
But I just go by Buttons.
So, Sly, Bobby, could you describe your relationship with Sally?
And we also share a piece of rare celebrity memorabilia, and there's also Elvis bobblehead with cocaine in it. Since we're drug pushers.
Yeah.
And we use the bobbleheads to push our merchandise.
Yeah, no, Buttons is new to the industry. I'm kind of a low-level drug runner, and, you have approached me recently with this new bobblehead. You tell me to keep it safe. Little do I know that I am about to get in way over my head.
All right.
How old are you, Sally?
I don't know.
As old as you want me to be.
18.
18.
All right.
Okay.
Sally is a very young 18.
I've got like
Sally,
a teddy girl kind of aesthetic, pompadour, leather jacket. I carry a switchblade.
Okay.
Teddy
Sally
girl?
Buttons.
Like Teddy Roosevelt girl?
Really into Teddy Roosevelt. Just, that mustache, let me tell you. It does things to me.
Sally, what's your relationship with... Ryan, what's your character's name?
My character's name is Scott Tons, because they have the same last name as Buttons.
So her middle name is Butts, and her last name is Tons.
Yes. So Scott is
So,
Sally.
Sally, what's your relationship with Scott Tons?
That's my idiot brother.
Scott is Sally's older brother. How old is your character, Stan?
Oh, my character. Oh God. So you've got to be her older brother. I guess.
By quite a lot.
I was gonna say that I was like 38.
Okay, so there's a 20-year age gap between.
Hey, that works because
Sally,
my siblings are all like in their late 30s, so that's actually real true to life for me.
Okay, so Scott is Hayden's older brother, as Sally mentioned, an idiot. And do you want my relationship with you, Gilberto? Siblings.
What is this thing between us?
Oh, that would be a crime.
Not in this state.
No, the crime is Sally needs to get away with murder.
I do need to get away with
yeah,
murder.
I forgot about
Oh yeah, that thing. I forgot already.
Right, well, listen, we're both culpable in this, okay? Just
So, Sally, who did you harm that you needed my help with?
I harmed one of Gilberto's boys that was pushed in on my turf.
Okay.
My boys, I'm not in crime.
You mean Bobby Beretti, or
You mean Bobby's boys?
Are you? Well, no,
that's what they call it, Bobby's boys.
I work for Bobby though.
So maybe our deal went sour,
Ah.
and you muscle up with my boys.
Yeah. Well,
So now.
yeah. So yeah, some shit got heated between me and one of the boys, and not only am I trying to get away from legal prosecution or anything, but I'm also trying to save face with Bobby.
So what happened, I believe, if I recall correctly,
Those many moons ago.
Sally got into a drug scuffle, and Scott doesn't know about these drug things. So he thought that one of Bobby's boys was trying to make time with his little sister.
Time.
So he saw you starting to fight him off, and Scott got a little out of control and just popped up and bopped him on the head with a shovel, and now he's dead. So we both had to hide the body.
All right, good job, Scott.
I think, and where did we choose to hide this body? Very, very good question, me. In the van.
In the town's giant Elvis bobblehead.
No. You chose.
Oh,
you
van.
chose to hide it in the van to try and frame Gilberto for it.
So now this van has quite the long history between us, Gilberto. So when we were,
You see, it's my van, and I won it fair and square.
yeah, right.
In a street badminton competition.
Because Gilberto and Scott were very competitive in professional badminton.
This was like an illegal badminton, like street game, though, wasn't it?
So yeah, we had a we were in an illegal shuttlecock fighting ring. And part of the final, during the big finals, when we were still in our prime, back in our early 20s, you bested me, and I had to give up. You won the title to my van, which was my pride and joy. And
Yes, and all the newspapers wrote, in town, which amazingly our small town had many newspapers.
It's mainly like fanzines for like Fugazi. And in the back, they posted an article about the badminton tournament.
Yeah, like
So I took the van to the town square, removed the tires,
just dumped it there.
and surrounded it with all the newspapers talking about how I beat your ass. All right, so the first round is called Act 1. In each round, we get to choose to either set it up or we choose the players to set up a scene. So what I'm going to do is,
This is just
for
like
my
badminton.
scene,
I've trained my whole life for this.
for my scene, I'm actually going to have you guys set it up for me, and I will determine whether it ends well or poorly for me. It'll be me, then Sly, then Hayden, then Ryan.
Okay.
I think it's like a confrontation between Bobby and Gilberto.
Yeah, Gilberto finds the drugs, and then he comes to Bobby asking, "Yo, what's up with this?" And Bobby's like, I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Okay, so this is a confrontation between Bobby and Gilberto because Bobby what?
Found the drugs.
Or Gilberto found the drugs and that's
yeah.
confronting Bobby.
Okay, so I have found the drugs in the bobblehead already.
Yes. And you come to my store, come to my house, under my roof, and you confront me.
All right, so we're in your house. I have got the bobblehead in my hand.
Now important question. What is, Bobby, what is your hobby shop's name?
It's not Bobby's Hobbies?
Bobby's Hobbies, perfect.
So you stroll into Bobby's Hobbies, Stan, just being like,
Oh, I thought I went to his house.
his metaphor.
I live in Bobby's Hobbies.
If you have a cot in the corner.
And my hobby store is called Handsomania. All right? So I go into Bobby's Hobbies and I say, Bobby, what's with this white powder inside my Elvis?
Oh, this isn't gonna get old.
Gilberto, that's just some sugar, man. I got some sugar for you.
No, I tasted it. It does not taste like sugar, and I got really hyper. So it's kind of like sugar, but not really.
God, I hate this already.
It's a really special sugar. You gotta be special in order to taste it.
I think I'm a pretty special person.
You is, Gilberto. You're a special person all the time. You're special to me. That's why I gives it to you. But why'd you open it up?
These accents have a gravitational pull. It's like a black
Because
hole.
the head
Jesus.
was drooping, and I was trying to fix it. The head was filled with this white powder, and it was drooping over the neck. And that's not what a bobblehead's supposed to do, Bobby. Bobbleheads are supposed to bobble, not lay there limp like a dick.
Well, maybe it's a broken one. Maybe you gives it back to me, and I fixes it for you.
You think so?
Yeah, I fix it for you. It gives you more, actually.
Okay. Well, this is going to end well, I think, for my character. So I'm going to take a white die.
God.
Because I think my bobblehead's going to get fixed. Okay, well, thanks, Bobby. Here. And I hand you the Elvis bobblehead.
After you give it to me, I take a lick of the sugar and say, it's good sugar, Gilberto. It's good sugar.
If you say so, I don't have any reason not to trust you.
End scene.
All right. And scene. And it's that easy. Now, the next up is Sly, and it'll focus on the Bobby character. Now, Sly, do you wish to set up this scene, or would you rather resolve the scene like I did?
I'll set it up.
All right.
So I go over to Sally Buttons, and I ask her, you're doing deals for me, right? You're my pusher?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Okay. So I come over and ask for my daily shipment, but I do it as you're burying the body. You're
in
like
the van. We're burying it under the newspapers.
So you have it right behind you. You're trying to cover up your body, like you're in the process of burying it. It's not under the van yet, and I'm standing there, and you're trying to make sure.
We were gonna leave it in the van, in a seat.
So you're trying to just close the door and make sure I don't look inside the van. And I'm like saying, what's that van over there?
Oh, Bobby, it is nothing. Do not worry about this.
Well, that's why.
Okay, now am I also there? Because we're hiding the body together.
Do you want to
be? Only a 2-character thing?
Whoever, the guy who's setting it up wants to be there can be there.
Okay, so Bobby, am I there?
Sure.
Okay.
So I see it like, oh, who's that? Is that your brother?
Yes, it is my brother. We're just catching up. It has been a long time, you know?
Yes, it has.
What country you guys are from, anyways?
You know, we are from Worstminton.
Oh, I vacation there sometimes. Nice country.
It is very cold in winter.
Very cold in Worstminton.
What's that fans behind you? What's going on over there? What you hang out here for?
You know, we are just out on the town, revisiting places that have strong memory. Bobby, brother has strong emotional attachment to van.
This used to be my van.
Oh, you mind if I take a look around?
Well, probably not best seen as used to be is very much the operative word there. He does not currently own it.
Oh, so this is not your properties, is it?
No.
Legally
it was
speaking.
once upon a time.
All right, I am choosing a black die for Bobby.
Okay.
So this, however, this just means it's not going to end well for you. However you determine that will be interpreted, go that
I stab Bobby in the
Okay,
neck.
so
way. No.
I was okay.
gonna bop him with the shovel.
I was saying the exact same thing. Yes, Bobby in the show.
Okay, so Scott goes, fine, you want to look in van? Go right ahead.
I poke my head in, sing, and I see Bobby's boys lying on the ground, and I get bopped right in the back of the head with a shovel.
Yes.
And we like tie him up and throw him in there
He's also in the van.
with this now decomposing body.
My decomposing
we
boy.
we don't kill Bobby. That would be a weird turn for it to take this early in.
No, he's just knocked out. Like I said, we tie him up and just leave him in there.
And scene.
Yes.
I listen, brother. While I appreciate your quick thinking, perhaps next time you could think of a solution to the situation that does not end with shovel in back of head. Yes.
How many times has the situation not worked out when I use shovel?
Why are you talking like that?
What happened to your accent? It was so natural before.
Or is this just an affectation that Buttons has chosen?
Sometimes you say, Scott, use shovel. Sometimes you say, no shovel. How am I supposed to know?
Perhaps, not next time, not in town square, and not to back of my boss's head.
So what do we do now?
I have an idea. Cut.
So this
Smash
is now.
cut.
So now, Hayden, it's your turn. So you set the scene, I guess.
Or we set the scene for you.
Yeah.
I want you to set the scene for me.
Okay. So you have a plan, and now we have to figure out what that plan is.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to dump the body like in a river somewhere.
Which body?
The Bobby's boy.
Okay.
He's trying to jump the Bobby's boy, and he doesn't realize that it's right next to a water park or something like that. The river.
So it's not actually a river, it's like a log flume.
Yes.
They'll never find it here.
Is it daytime or nighttime?
Is it? What is it?
Let's say it's like nighttime, but I don't know.
So, like, is the park still open?
Water parks aren't open at night.
Yes, so it's nighttime, but the security guard comes by, hearing the commotion, maybe.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Who do you want to play the security guard?
Either Sly or Stan, I guess.
I guess
would
it'll be
make the
me.
most sense. You want to be the
All right.
security guard?
Oh, hello! What's going on here?
Well done, Nuts. We are...
Suspicious.
We are...
Who are you two?
We are groundskeepers.
I'm the groundskeeper here.
You see, then why are you wearing security guard uniform? Very
I
suspicious.
do double duty.
Very suspicious. Sounds like it's a falsehood. What do you think, brother?
We are here to fix the grounds. We are here to keep them. That is why we have these shovels.
You have abandoned the accent altogether and are just speaking in like this.
Your voice changed. Are you putting up a front?
I'm so
I don't know who you are, who you're pretending to be, but I'm calling the cops.
Listen. Perhaps, you cannot listen. Perhaps, we can think of an arrangement between the three of us, yes? What if we compensated you for just doing your job and patrolling the area and finding nothing because there is nothing to see?
I'll give you a deal. You be groundskeeper for a day, and I'll let the whole matter slide.
You know what you have, deal. And I like
pleasure making business with you.
I
And
like
he walks off.
I like spit in my hand and like shake it, and you walk off.
So Sally, that was a time for no shovel.
That is correct. See?
Okay. See, I'm learning.
Yeah. See, I'm very proud of you, brother.
And
So-
scene.
I guess.
Scene.
So then we dump the body in the lazy river.
Yep.
Okay.
The chlorine will help it decompose faster.
The scene.
All right. Since we've done this this round, I got to give away my.
Wait, I haven't gone
outcome
yet.
Dice.
Yeah, Ryan hasn't gone yet.
Oh, I know. I'm just gonna. This is something we should have been doing after the ends of our
Oh, okay.
turns. So I'm gonna give my white die to Ryan.
Okay.
Sly, who do you want to give your black die to?
So if I give my black die, means something like, does that mean something bad's happening to him, or what does it mean?
It just it doesn't matter until the end of the game, really.
But do we know? Are we supposed to know what they do before the end of the game?
No. When you're giving it to someone, the idea is to get them. I have no idea, honestly.
It'll be a surprise for all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess I give my black die to Hayden.
All
Thanks,
right.
dear.
And Hayden, to whom do you want to give your white die?
I'll give it to. I'll give it to my brother.
So I have 2 white die.
Yeah, you have 2
Okay.
white die. All right, and then now Ryan, do you wish to set up your scene or resolve it?
I'm gonna set up the scene.
Okay.
So now it is the next morning. Right? That's okay. We can do a time jump, right?
50
Yes,
years
absolutely.
later.
You can even do a flashback in this game.
So, ooh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So it's the next morning. Gilberto is arriving at Bobby's Hobbies to collect his bauble. And while you are waiting for the bauble to, Bobby goes in the back to get the bobblehead that's now fixed, allegedly. And the police show up asking questions about Bobby's boy, who's the body they found this
Wait,
morning.
I'm back at the shop.
No.
Oh, I guess you're not.
You're
Okay,
still-
I'm in the under your care
so
right
you're
now.
still
tied
in
up
the
in the
van.
van. So you're tied up
Maybe-
in the van.
Maybe
You
you're
were at the
covering
shop.
for my shift or something like that.
So you're outside the shop. So I forgot you were tied up in the van.
Yeah.
So Gilberto is outside Bobby's Hobbies waiting to pick up his bobblehead when the cops arrive.
I've been here for 3 hours. Oh, hello, officer.
Does anyone want to play the cop or should I?
I want to play the cop.
Okay. So I've set up the scene. Go right ahead, Hayden.
Yes, hello, Mr. Handsome, I believe.
That's right. My name is Mr. Handsomeman.
The detective lights a cigarette. So, are you familiar with Mr. Bobby, I believe?
You mean Bobby
Beretti.
Bobby Beretti?
Yes, you're a known associate of Mr. Beretti's, I believe.
If you can call business rivals associates, yes.
Well, tomato, sir. Well, I just have a couple of questions that I want to ask you. When was the last time that you saw Mr. Beretti?
Yesterday.
Did he seem on edge at all to you?
No. Bobby's never on edge. Bobby is probably the coolest customer I know. A real good head on his shoulders.
Such good rivals you guys are.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Now, did he ask you to hold anything for him, by any chance?
Are you implying a relationship of a sexual nature?
Well, that would be pertinent information to the case that I'm working on. What is your relationship purely business rivals, or does it go beyond that?
No, it doesn't go beyond that. He's a terrible businessman, and I'm an honest businessman.
So, moving aside from sexual matters, did he ask you to hold anything, at all?
I don't know what you're implying, but no, I just gave him my Elvis doll.
Your Elvis doll.
Yeah, it was a bobblehead. He given to me this bobblehead of Elvis. It was my prized possession. But its head was dangling over, and it had some sugar in it.
Sugar
It
use.
didn't taste like no sugar, but it sure made me hyper like sugar. I swear, I was more productive yesterday than I've been in the last 15 years.
Interesting. Would you be willing to write that down for me? Come to the station and give a statement?
You want me to write?
If that's within your capabilities, sir.
I'm capable of writing, but I thought you guys did all the writing. I just had to talk.
Well, we can sort that all out at the station if you're free.
Are you hitting on me? I'm not saying I'm against it, but you just asked me if I was free.
Well, I'll have you know that I'm a happily married man, sir.
I'm sure you are. Okay, yeah, let's go.
Gilberto is such a fascinating character.
Isn't this your scene?
Yeah, I was like,
was.
what did this evolve into? Gilberto Handsomeman.
Okay, I thought that. So, okay,
For Ryan's scene, he wants more of Gilberto. That's his dream in life.
so okay. Oh, it's when I said the scene, I have to be involved in it.
Yes!
It's not your character.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, so I guess I'm here now.
Okay, so
So
you
now-
show up before I can leave with the cop.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, why would I be here?
Or maybe you're here to learn more about me because you knocked me out.
Okay, yeah. I'm here to see if there's any evidence of the scuffle that Sally had with Bobby's boy, because it was outside the shop.
Okay.
So I'm looking around, and so the cop sees me snooping around.
Excuse me, sir. Can I help you?
Yeah, is this store open?
I gesture to the closed sign.
Oh, thank you, officer.
Are you...
Officer, do you know who that is?
I'm about to find out. Who...
I'll tell you right now. That right there is none other than Scott Tons. Very famous man, because I beat his ass in badminton 20 years ago.
At this point, Scott
Fascinating, sir.
realizes that that's Gilberto. Because I assume Gilberto's let himself go a little bit.
Of course.
Gilberto.
His last name is very ironic right now.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I was just here to see Bobby Beretti and see if I could get my bobblehead back.
What did you do to my van?
I'm sorry, it's my van. Officer, we made a bet 20 years ago and I won the van. Can you explain to him in legal language that his van is my van? I own the title?
Sir, he owns the title to the van.
You know, maybe you should see the van, because it is left in the place that is not legal parking.
Oh, are you that gentleman that parked a van in the middle of town square?
I'm sorry, you could say I parked it there. I would say that it is a monument to a local athlete.
And did you get a permit from the city to erect this monument?
I reckon I did.
Uh-huh. And do you have said permit on your person?
I reckon I do.
I would like to see that very much, sir.
So who decides if this ends well for me?
You do, I think.
I do?
Yeah.
No, you set it up.
No, you
Oh,
set it
yeah,
up,
so we
you
decide
do.
if it ends well.
So how does this end for Scott?
Scott.
I'm thinking Gilberto gets arrested for not having permit, and that leaves Scott the opportunity to enter the shop.
Okay,
until he
so
wants.
Scott will have a white die. So that'll leave Ryan with 3 white die at this point. And I will say, I take out my wallet and I whip out my learner's permit because I never did get my driver's license.
35-year-old man.
And I say, "Excuse me, officer." And I turn around and I write on my learner's permit in Sharpie, "For statue." And then turn around and hand it to the officer.
The officer lights a cigarette.
It's all legal law right there. See? Permit for statue.
I'm gonna have to ask you to come to the station.
Well, you already asked me to go to the station.
Under different circumstances now. Had I slap the cuffs on you.
What happens to the van now, officer?
We'll sort that all out at the station.
It's still no less mine, even if he impounds it.
So, Gilberto, all the things in the van, are they also yours?
Of course. Why wouldn't they be?
Scott writes that down on the police report because apparently that's how that works in this town.
Yeah, good. You're finally coming around to the truth, which is that's my van. Right, officer?
If you own the title to it, it is your van, sir.
I do.
Okay.
That's in my left front pocket. If you want to reach for it, officer, I can't because you handcuffed me.
Well,
wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
We'll have to discuss that with my husband later. For now, please watch your head there. Yep, that's it. Just get right in there.
Oh, it's tight fit.
Door slam.
As the car drives away, Scott mutters to himself, "Take him away, boys." And goes into Bobby's shop.
Who do you wish to give your white die to?
I'm going to give it to Hayden.
Yay.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
So next round is essentially the same thing. We just continue the story.
How many rounds are there?
There's 4 rounds total. 2 rounds in Act 1, 2 rounds in Act 2.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my scene this time. And at this point, I am in jail. I'm in a cell with 5 other people. They're very dangerous looking men.
Yeah.
However, they are currently delighted by my antics.
Are they?
I am juggling their shoes and tying them in the midst of my juggling act. And that's how you do the juggle thing, boys.
That is pretty delightful. Yay!
I like that. I like that a lot.
Jimmy the Snitch claps enthusiastically.
I'd like to
Do
think
it again.
Jimmy the Snitch is like every time Gilberto does a trick, Jimmy like whispers how it's done.
Yeah, see what he does is he's actually got another pair of shoelaces.
Stop! You're spoiling the magic.
I go to Jimmy the Snitch and I say, "Oh, Jimmy, you must be an old hat at this. Oh, hey, look behind your ear." And I whip out an old hat and I say, "Look, it's your old hat."
What? I ain't seen that. That's the hat my father gave me at the Yankees game when I was 12.
Yeah.
I ain't seen that in 20 years.
You must have very dirty ears.
How did
Nothing more magical than a good relationship between a father and his son.
this man is a sorcerer?
Is that a twist? Gilberto is actually a sorcerer.
We might. I like shuffle over to Knuckles McGinty. Say, all right, Knuckles. This man is an affront to the natural order of the universe. We have to kill him.
Who's Knuckles McGinty?
I guess that'll be Ryan.
I don't know. I think that there's more to the world than what we currently understand.
But why should he have such power over the arcane and not us?
Would you like to learn the tricks?
Teach us your ways, witch boy.
Jimmy, do you really think we deserve to understand the forces of the universe?
Yeah, yes.
Hey, I know a real neat trick that'll help all of us. You ever heard of a man named Harry Houdini? Also,
I heard of Harry Potter.
No, his name was Harold, and his last name was Houdini. And he was very famous in the 1960s. And he was...
Wait.
The
The 1960s?
He was a very good magician in the 1960s. And
This alternate
he
history.
was really good at escaping places. So here, take a look. And I just easily picked the lock on the jail cell.
Okay.
All right, do I get a white die? I mean, you guys determine.
I think this ends poorly for you because you're escaping in the middle of the holding cell.
I was thinking we escape together and we create a version for him.
So it's like the opening of Ghost Protocol.
Yes.
All right, so white die for me. I get to escape.
Yeah.
All right.
Go, witch boy. Be free.
All right. Thanks, guys. You were the best audience I've ever had. None of you even hit me like that Harold Houdini who got punched in the face and died of an aneurysm.
So I think scene ends with like a desk is overturned and like Knuckles McGinty and Jimmy the Snatcher behind it. It's like the ending of Butch Cassidy. And it's like, I knew we should have took that job in Puerto Rico, Knuckles.
But, the real crimes were the friends we made along the way.
You're right. All right. One last time, Knuckles. Together. And we, like, bust out from behind the desk, and there's a hail of gunfire in freeze frame.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give my white die to Sly.
Sweet, my first.
Sly, do you wish to set up or do you wish to resolve?
All right, so I want to set up my scene. I'm in the van, tied up.
I would love to hear more about the adventures of Jimmy the Snitch and Knuckles McGinty.
That's for the flashbacks that you.
Yeah, we got to flashback to that. All right, so I'm in the van, tied up, and I look up as the cop from before opens the door and spots me there.
Well, this is certainly an interesting turn to my evening.
Officer, you're here to help me, right? I've been kidnapped by Handsomeman, like the crook.
I'm just going off of a hunch, sir, but I don't believe that was your accent.
You were more like Italian guy.
How did you know?
I have an ear for these things, sir.
Mamma mia!
Here we go again.
The handsome man, he caught me. He's a drug dealer. He took me. He put me here.
No, you're going Mario. It was more like
I lost already. I'm sorry.
It was more my cousin Vinny. Like,
Yeah, it was more like you were talking. Like,
hey,
oh yeah, I was talking like this. Hey, well, forget about it.
yeah. All right, so
It was sorry, officer. I got the concussion. Just want to tell you, the handsome man. He knocked me out. He put me here. He's a crook. He selling drugs.
Yeah, so you realize you're framing the handsome man because he did not put you there.
Yes, I do.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, you'll be pleased to know that the Mr. Handsome is currently at the station.
That's a good, boys. You're doing your work well.
I'd like to think this is a mix-up because my character is very handsome. So he thinks he's saying the handsome man put him in there.
Yes, that's exactly it. I have a concussion. I'm saying the handsome man.
But really, he thinks he means Mr. Handsomeman or whatever.
Yeah. Yes. Well, the handsome man. He took my stuff. He's so handsome man.
Yeah. Well,
I want to say that this ends well for Bobby. What do you guys say?
Yeah, that's.
Yes.
I'll throw my white tie in.
well, does it really end well for him because he thinks? Well, I mean, he is free, but he thinks that he's convicted the right man when in fact he hasn't.
That's fine, whatever. But the ultimate thing is that he thinks it ends well for him.
All right.
Yeah.
So go ahead, finish off the scene.
You wouldn't mind coming down to the station and filling out a report, would you?
No, I get fair reports for you. I know the procedure. I've been there before.
I'm sure you have.
All right, so I give my white die to Handsome Man.
All right, cool. Now I finally get a die. All right, next up is Hayden.
I think I arrive at Bobby's Hobbies shortly after the cops have left and my brother's broken in.
Okay.
And we're
So
like
I'm still there?
ransacking the place. Yeah.
Okay.
So what is it are you looking for?
Just wanted to make sure we left no evidence of Bobby Boy.
Well, it was a clean hit, more blunt force, not a lot of blood to clean up. So I unless you left a shovel.
No, you know I never leave my shovel behind.
We pan over. You have the shovel in your hand right now.
Yeah. So was there? I got there in the middle of your fight. did you break anything or have any sort of, conflict before I got there?
Well, okay, it was like this. So, I was in a throuple with his girlfriend, right? But she did not disclose the fact that she was in a relationship with me and my boyfriend at the time. See, and it got a little heated, shall we say?
I knew it with Sally. It's always you and those boys are always causing trouble.
Well, listen. You worry too much.
I know you can take care of yourself. It's just, it's been so long since we were together in WrestleMania.
Those long, hard winters. They really forged our relationship.
I forget sometimes that you're not the little farm girl wrapped in the many blankets of our village.
I broke my back hoeing those fields.
Right, I'm gonna vote that this ends poorly for Hayden. I don't know how that's gonna work, but it's gonna end poorly for Hayden.
Listen, I'd say we have very firmly burned all of our bridges, so let's loot the place.
Don't you work here though?
No, we just brained my employer.
Oh, that's true. Wait, can the how it works out poorly? Can it be that this whole thing is on camera? This whole conversation where we just say the things we do.
Yes, all of it is on camera.
Yeah,
so I know it.
So I like take like Istanov Mareko's like prized golden badminton rack and like steal all the cash from the register, and we duck out.
Why would you take this private badminton thing?
I as we're like in the car driving away, I say, open my bag. I got something for you. You open up, it's the golden racket.
Sally, you know me so well.
You've done a lot for me. It's my way of paying you back.
Consider us even.
We drive off in the sunset and everything ends well for us forever.
All right, and scene?
So now it's me, right?
Yes.
Now it is you.
So we go back to our house, the siblings, and...
So we have a house together?
Yes! So while we're there, we're playing golden badminton together in the yard, and the police pull up, and they have been investigating. So there's two cops. There's the cop from before, and then there's a new one, because I don't want to...
Oh, wow, you get to play two roles, Hayden.
I'm fine with that.
Oh, no, I was going to be the second cop.
Oh, wow, okay.
You're my You're my
I
husband.
want Hayden...
You're my husband, my partner in life and at work.
Yeah.
No.
So, yeah.
Now, honey, I know you usually like to play the bad cop in this situation, but I think I could take over that role for once.
Okay, I got you this time.
All right.
So, we knock on the door. Who answers? Do you want to answer?
Oh, wait, Hayden, who do you assign your die to?
Oh, my black die?
Either, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It could be either your black die or white die.
I'll give my black die to you.
Well, okay, first, before they knock on the door, one of the cops says to the other one, so who do you want to kick off this interrogation? Who's starting here?
You know what? I always usually take lead. I'll let you take lead this time.
Okay, so in that case, I knock on the door, and Sally answers the door.
Yes, hello, officers.
Yeah, we just, we were doing some follow-up investigation over at Bobby Sabi's, and, we couldn't help but notice that you stole a bunch of stuff.
I do not know what you're talking about.
Well, and he leans over and he sees Scott bouncing a shuttlecock with the golden thing. He goes, yeah, it's right there, it's that, and also, like, there's a big pile of money over there, and we saw the videos, so do you guys just want to come down to the station, or what?
Lawyer.
Lawyer.
I'm going to go give a black die to Ryan for this scene. This is going to end poorly for Scott.
Okay, so Scott's going to walk over, and very obviously he sees the police officers, and you see him. He's holding the racket in one hand, and you see him put his shovel down from the other hand, and walk over, and he goes, "What seems to be the problem, officer? I just saw you. What's going on?" He says to Hayden's police officer.
Well, Hayden's police officer lights a cigarette and
That's his name. Hayden, police officer.
Hayden, police officer.
he was born for this job.
Old family tradition.
Yep, going back to the Middle Ages. That's how we got our name. Listen. I'm sure there's a story behind this that will explain everything, and I would love for you and your sister to come down to the station and explain it to us.
Lawyer, please. And we both, at least Scott stands silently.
You want to cuff him, honey?
Yeah, I guess so.
Might as well.
Ryan, police officer, cuffs, because I took Hayden's name when we got married.
Yeah.
And I cuff them both and give Hayden a kiss on the cheek and go, let's rock, honey.
And we speed away.
So that's the end of Act 1.
I will give my white die to Sly.
All right, cool,
Okay.
cool. We'll go ahead and pass the white die on to Sly. All right, so next up is the tilt. Hayden and Ryan, you two get to choose the tilts. All right, so you get to choose of the dice rolled, a 1, 2, 3, 6, or 5. So anything except a 4.
Well, I am going to have to pick Mayhem, I think.
It just turns into Mad Max.
Well, we did just stage a whole prison break.
Yeah, that station is in chaos right now.
So now, Hayden, you pick the 1 through 6 for Mayhem?
Okay.
But what, anything but 4?
So there was only 1, so your options are 2, 3, and 6. So that'd be a frantic chase, dangerous animal, or misdirected passion.
You know I gotta pick a dangerous animal gets loose.
Now, is it perhaps metaphorical?
The dangerous animal inside handsome man gets loose.
This is just like we bought a zoo, guys.
All right, so we're gonna do a dangerous animal. Will enter into the story
This is just like Live Live by Night.
using your 2, 6, and a 5. You can choose tragedy, paranoia, or failure.
Paranoia.
Paranoia. So that's the 5.
Yeah.
All right, so the 5 is gone and the 1 is gone. So what's left is a 2, a 3, and a 6.
I feel
So
like
within paranoia, you can choose.
I feel like
Ryan,
everybody's coming to get me.
Ryan, you get to choose what seems like dumb luck isn't. Things are afoot. Or you can choose
So what, you said 2, 3, and 5?
2, 3, and 6.
Oh, 2, 3, and 6.
So,
So also
two people
Ooh.
cross paths and everything changes, or somebody is watching, waiting for their moment.
You wait. I wish there was a 5. The thing you stole has been stolen.
Yes. I'm going to have to say 2 people cross paths and everything changes.
The second act will play out exactly the same thing as the first act, except we have to incorporate at some point a dangerous animal and 2 people crossing paths that causes everything to change. So that's pretty much it. And you keep the die that you have in front of you, the dice that you have in front of you. So I have 1 black, 1 white, and etc. Except this time, we don't give away the die, the die that we get. We just keep them.
Okay.
So whenever we're assigned, we just keep them. I will go ahead and say, you guys set up my scene. I will resolve it.
I think we're driving to the station with the siblings, and we just see him running down the street.
Or maybe you run him over by accident.
Oh my
Yes.
god! Yes, he's crossing the street and escaping. He just smashes into our
It's
windshield.
a real Pulp Fiction kind of moment.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
All
just got a donut in his mouth.
So wait, who? So it's the 2 cops and Scott and and
Buttons.
Sally.
We're all in the
so
car.
It's the 2 buttons, the 2 cops, and me.
The two buttons, 2 police officers, get the names right, and then you.
Two
Yeah.
buttons, 2 police officers.
And you're running from the station, and we hit you with the car.
All right, and I jump and slam into the windshield. Bow! And I land on the ground. Oof!
You two stay put. And I get out of the car and slowly approach the mangled wreckage of Handsome.
Oh, hello, police officer.
I just can't seem to get rid of you, can I?
You certainly seem to have tried. That was very rude, hitting me with your car.
Well, maybe you should think about that next time you escape from jail.
I'm sorry, but I did not escape.
Uh-huh.
I didn't. I just walked out. That's different.
At this point, I want Hayden police officer to realize that Ryan police officer is unconscious over the steering wheel. 2 people have crossed paths and everything has changed.
I run over and I pull open the car door and I pull you out and I cradling you in my arms on the street. I'm just like, Ryan police officer.
Oh,
don't you die on me.
That I look in the back seat and go, oh hey there, how you doing? Sally and Mr. Loser, I beat your ass in badminton.
So while he's taunting Hayden, you realize that Ryan police officer has his life has been extinguished.
Tears well up in Hayden police officer's eyes.
While Handsome Man is dancing around and taunting.
I do that thing where I close your eyes and give you a final kiss. It's
as this heartfelt scene
Arrivederci,
is occurring between 2
Ryan police officers.
Characters, I open up
please,
the door.
Ryan police officer and Hayden the police officer are the stars of this campaign.
Mr. Police Officer was my father. Call me Ryan.
Gilberto Handsomeman opens up the door just to get into Button's face and go, I am the winner, you are the loser.
At this point, Buttons punches Handsome Man in the face.
Ow! Today is a painful day for me.
I jump over the 2 front seats and slam on the gas.
So Scott is still in the car. Did Handsome Man fall out of the car when you punched him, or is he dangling along?
I don't know. Maybe it's better if he's dangling. I like that better.
Who gets to decide if this scene ends well for him?
I do.
Okay. Does it?
I'm going to say it does not.
Okay. So I'm going to say that you are punched so hard that you're knocked unconscious and we kidnap you in this cop car.
All right, so you just pull me in. I'm in the back seat. You somehow climb into the front seat despite the fact that there is a pane of glass separating the
This
front
is a
black
detective's
seat.
car.
Back
Like,
seat.
this is a detective's car. There is no pane of glass.
Wait, why is this a detective's car?
Yeah.
Because they were detectives.
Oh, you think just because police officer, he's actually a B cop? You prejudiced
Why would a
bastard.
detective come?
We said that earlier, that we're detectives.
They're investigating a body that they found in the water park.
Oh, okay, all right. So they're detectives now. Okay.
They were detectives always. You have to pay attention to the lore.
Yes, look it up on
so this is
the
just
Wikipedia.
a regular car.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I am knocked unconscious and I am laying on Scott's lap.
Sure. And we're driving away, and I go to Sally. I go, where do we go from here?
I think we have to go where this all began and finish it. And I'm driving towards the van.
All right. That's the end of the scene. It is now Sly's turn. Do you wish to establish or resolve?
I want to establish. So, Bobby Beretti has gotten all his boys together. He's like, boys, we got ourselves a problems here. We got handsome men, muscle not racket. They got all the drugs. We got to find these handsome men.
Everything, right?
Yeah, he stole everything. We got to find these handsome men and show them what happens when you mess with Bobby's boys.
Yeah, boss.
Yeah, let's get him.
Let's kill that handsome man.
Teach you to be a good-looking boy.
We're all like wearing like striped shirts and domino masks. Like,
I'm gonna shit in his mouth.
whoa! What, George? What? What?
A little too much there, George.
You always take it too far, George.
Come on, I figured it would just like to kill two birds.
No,
with one
no.
stone.
George.
Anytime, you always jump right to shitting in someone's mouth.
Yeah, last time it was disgusting. Like it's like we've done so many times, it's getting kind of ridiculous. Like we can't handle no more, George.
I slammed the table. You guys are holding me back.
I like it when he shits on him.
Okay, if whoever wants to shit in the mouths, you go to your own side because the boys don't shit in one's mouths. That's the rule.
The gang is divided 50-50.
So we got ourselves an impasse here. Whoever gets the handsome men's gets to shit in the mouths or they get the drugs. We'll see who gets there first.
Alright. I love incentives.
Let's get him!
Let the games begin, boys.
A starter pistol goes off. And we all get in our like 1940s like prohibition mobster cars and just like we're all hanging out the windows.
Well, for Bobby, so Bobby gets a white die.
Yes.
Jesus. Oh, Jesus, help me.
So is the scene ending well for him?
Yes.
I would say so. Hayden, do you wish to establish or set up? I mean, set up or resolve?
I want to resolve.
Okay. So where did we Hayden was driving the car. Hayden drives over to the van.
I should point out because the officers apprehended us, right? And before we got to the station, we had this whole kerfluffle. All of the cash, the drugs, the badminton, and the shovel are in like the trunk of the car.
Yes.
All right. So all that is in the trunk of the car. Hayden is at not Hayden, but Sally and Scott and Gilberto are now at the van. Gilberto is starting to come to. The van is there. And what is up with the cop? The living cop?
Well, we left Hayden behind.
Yeah,
they got left behind.
You
Oh,
interrupted us in like our touching farewell.
Does
Alright,
Hayden shoot at the car and make it go out of control?
So the cop is not at the scene. Instead, there is a very harried zookeeper shouting in the middle of the
It's
square.
Kevin James. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Yes, Kevin James is in the square.
Please, Sir Kevin James.
Sir Kevin James is in the middle of the square.
I
shouting
am
for anyone to hear them. That there is
Hey yeah.
there is a dangerous gorilla, and the Kevin James will be played by Sly.
Hear ye! There's a wild animal on the loose.
True, it's like the King of Queens himself is here with us now.
I have a most royal proclamation that a wild gorilla has escaped from my yonder zoo.
Gilberto wakes up and he goes, "Oh, I love gorillas. Where am I? Oh, it's my van."
I like get out of the car and pop open the trunk and get out the badminton racket, and I open up the van. I see that our other kidnapped person is gone. I will file this away for later. And I shuffle around in the van for a while, and I pull out a badminton net and another racket and a cock shuttle.
Exactly where
Oh,
I was
you
going.
want to play some badminton? Oh, are you trying to set up a rematch between me and your brother?
This has to end
I
now.
know. I
So-
can show once and for all I am the best.
So, new rules. Today, you're not playing for simply a shitty van. You are playing for your very lives.
What? Are you implying that one of us will die because of a badminton game?
One of you will not walk away from this.
This is
Well, no, I don't agree to that.
This is a traditional game in Westphalia.
This is how we play.
This is how we play in the harsh lands where we're from. It is
Well,
not.
maybe where you're from, but this is America town, and you will not make me do
Enough!
that. You.
I pull out a gun.
It is time to play the game of Worstminton.
All right, but you're in trouble now.
Well,
How
no.
is this going to end well or poorly for Hayden?
Well, I have a gun now, so I think that's pretty good
He has
for
the upper
me.
hand, yeah.
All right, so you have set it up so that there will be a game of life or death between
Game of life and death badminton, baby.
life and death badminton
Worst
between
man.
me.
This is street rules, son.
And we know that there's also a gang of shitters, a gang of non-shitters, and a gorilla coming to get us.
They're all converging on this
Speaking
point.
of, during this whole conversation, what is Kevin James been doing? Just still shouting to anyone else?
Yeah, he's running towards the group saying, "Oh, I do the clown! That fellow over there, is that my gorilla?" Looking at Huntsman.
I am not a gorilla, sir.
Are you sure? I had a gorilla who left my zoo yonder 20 years past, and I have yet to reclaim him.
Sir, I am not a gorilla. Unlike gorillas, I can play badminton like a pro.
I'm just imagining this
My gorilla
man.
was trained at badminton to be a pro.
I'm just imagining this man just bounce around like a court jester's outfit with like bells on his shoes.
All right, so we've established all this. Ryan, it is your turn.
Okay.
Do you wish to establish or resolve?
I want to establish, right before this scene starts, this game of Worstminton, we see a flashback of the previous time that we played.
So you've got like fabulous 80s
Yes.
hair,
we have 80s hair.
windbreakers,
There is a
short shorts.
There is a Sally in a baby carriage watching on.
99 Luftblues is playing in the background.
99 Luftballons is playing in the background.
All right, and you
we are playing this game, and now my idea is that if you guys choose that it ends poorly for me, he won fair and square. But if it ends well, I think he cheated.
No.
All right, Gilberto shows up wearing his awesome 80s Ray-Bans shades and a really sweet purple pastel blazer and a blue pastel Oxford shirt and
You're painting a picture for
like
us.
pure white khakis and penny loafers. And I say, "Well, hey there, fellas. Looking for a good game? Because I sure am."
All right, boys. I want a clean game. No greasing the cocks. No tweaking the mittens. Nothing below the belt. Nothing above the belt.
You know, I,
you don't have it.
Scott Tons, has never cheated. He doesn't have an
I
accent
don't.
in this flashback.
I don't need to cheat either. You'll be blinded by my handsomeness.
And at this
And
point, you
I
turn
tear
to the
open
camera
my
and it's
shirt
like
and
bright.
show off my six-pack of abs. And then I take the shuttlecock and I just bounce it on my abs.
I want to paint the picture that a young Scott looks like whatever teenage Waluigi would look like.
I think
Alright,
I think it should be canon that Handsome Man uses his now established magic powers to cheat.
Oh yeah, because I do have sleight of hand capabilities.
So
He just like whispers into the shuttlecock like, "Amina mi me comporto."
All right,
Like
so this is
runes start glowing on it and shit.
so this is going to be a white. The last white die goes to Ryan.
so poor Waluigi, but with like a high school mustache.
just this fabulous like teenage dirt stash, just like it's
All right.
so
Is
surrounded by grease and acne. It's just so gross.
so with this magic.
So-
So all the way the magic looks is the illusion is only visible to Scott, and like you serve one, and it splits into 3. That's the wrong one. Or like
It's
it
like
pauses
it's
in
like
midair and
Hawkeye
switches
releasing like a
directions.
shatter arrow, just like
Yeah.
That's what I call a lonely threesome.
It phases right through my racket at one point.
and it just looks like you're having a stroke from everyone else's perspective.
Wah. This is kind of what Mario Tennis is like. People just using specials and Waluigi being sad.
I feel so bad for Waluigi, like for real.
This game ends so poorly for you that you actually don't make a single point. Every single serve I make, you miss.
Okay, so I think the scene ends. Afterwards, you've hoisted the trophy like up in the air, and you're like showering off, and you feel a hand tap you on the shoulder in the showers, and you turn around and you see a tall man with red skin in a pure white suit. He says, "I do hope that it was worth it, Mr. Handsome."
Well, it was worth it. Now you can take my intelligence.
And the lone man places a finger to your forehead.
Whoa!
Your
Hey!
your abs disappear and you get all flappy.
So I want to paint the picture that the reason why you can't drive is because you aren't smart enough to operate a manual vehicle, and the van is a stick shift and you can't figure it out anymore.
I want to point out that this is not an ableist thing. He's just literally a dumb guy.
Yeah.
All right? Because that's
You guys'
treading
minds
into
are right level.
dangerous
Yeah.
territory here.
I felt that the moment you opened your mouth as this character.
This is more of a Gomer Pyle
Yes.
type.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
kind of
you
thing.
course corrected like soon enough that it's not totally egregious.
But with his intelligence, his loss of intelligence, he has done a full. He's got a pretty decent heart. Because apparently it was his intelligence that made him greedy and stupid.
It's just like Johnny from like Karate Kid just suddenly turned out as okay now.
All right, so that's our scene.
Yes.
All right,
So
so
the
it's
final
back
round, right?
Yeah, well, it's back to me.
Final
And,
countdown.
I don't know about you guys, but I think the whole thing should kind of end at the competition.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm going to take my scene and I'm going to say that before we can even play, the gorilla shows up. So we're getting ready. We've got it set up for our life and death match of badminton. When suddenly a gorilla shows up and tears through the net.
Then it grabs a racket, signaling it wants to play too.
Yes.
Beautiful.
And I cock my gun and point it at you, Handsome, and say, No, I did not say match is over. Looks like you're playing doubles now.
Doubles? Well, who's my partner?
And at that moment, Bobby shows up.
Yes. Yes.
Bobby!
Yo, handsome man. What's going on here? What you doing with handsome man?
So
It appears that, Bobby, despite the fact that we are professional rivals, we are now allies in this game of badminton. You and I must defeat the buttons.
No. But
No, the
ape.
button and the ape.
Yep. I'm the referee.
Wait, we can't have a button refereeing the match.
Yes, is a biased. I'm Russian.
I
Yeah, that's a biased It's a biased observer. You can't be doing that.
It's funny. My two friends, Smith and Wesson, think that I'm a very impartial observer.
Looks like the odds are stacked against us, handsome man, old boy. But we got the upper hand. We know how to play. We's the best, right?
Yeah, yeah, we are.
So
and I stick up my
all
hand
of the
for a high five.
So cut to like the net is now set up. It's Button and the gorilla on one side, Bobby and Handsome on the other, and all of the goons are like in some bleachers that suddenly appeared, cheering.
Oh man, I didn't want to watch a game of badminton. I wanted to shit in his mouth.
And then somebody says, "Whoever loses gets their mouth shit in," or something like that.
So what? So I think so. So one of the other goons says, "So I think it seems to me like whoever loses, if it's between Gilberto and Scott, they get killed. But their partner, if whoever the partner of the loser, they get shit in their mouth. Does that sound fair to everybody?"
That seems fair to me.
Bobby says, "I always knew George the Shitter would turn on me one day. I always knew."
Well,
yeah, I mean, like, I wanted to shit not in Boss's mouth. I wanted to shit in Handsome Man's mouth. So that means I gotta kill the boss and then shit in Handsome Man's mouth.
I want to shit in a gorilla.
Good God, what has happened to this? Anyway.
What a fiasco, guys.
All right. That said, I'm going to say that ended well for me, but no, that ended poorly for me.
Yes.
Because this can only end poorly.
Well, didn't you set this up?
Well, I mean, you guys determine whether it ends poorly for me.
I'm gonna
Poorly,
say
there's literally only option is it ends poorly.
I'm gonna say it ends well because you got a partner.
But it can't. There's no more white die.
Oh.
The only time it can end well is the wild card, which will be on your turn, Ryan.
Oh, okay. So then it ends poorly.
Yeah, it ends
'cause
poorly.
Now you're gonna get either killed. If you lose,
my mouth
your
if I
will
lose.
shit on you.
So the stakes have been raised significantly.
Yep, from death to mouth shit.
The worst of the two outcomes.
It's a fate worse than death. Yeah. All right, so Bobby, do you wish to resolve or set up?
I'll resolve.
Okay. So the setup is the game is in play. Bobby and Gilberto are given a good competition between the ape and Buttons. The ape performing admirably well, which really upsets Gilberto since Gilberto said he was much, much better than an ape. And we're currently tied in the midst of the game.
Does anyone know how many points you need in badminton?
I don't have any fucking clue how badminton works.
I shout from the sidelines to my brother, "Put him in a body bag!"
And then someone goes, "Or a toilet!"
You're the ref. You can't be shouting that kind of stuff.
I cock my gun. Do you have something to say? I think you should be more focused on your shuttlecock than my
cocking my gun.
So we're playing like hard, and we're all tied up. It's neck and neck.
All right, Sly. This has to end badly for you.
So what I'm thinking is, you guys are firing like the gorilla's super strong. He's firing all these really fierce shots, and I decided
smoke is just coming off of it as it slows down.
So I basically take a bullet for Handsome Man, basically saying, yelling out and grabbing whatever the badminton item they bounce around is
The shuttlecock.
the shuttlecock, and say, "No, if anyone's gonna be taking the shit in the mouth, it's gonna be me. I didn't do many good things in my life, but can't let the good man go down for my sake."
So what do you do? Like dive and like wipe
I
out?
I wipe out. Yes.
And you like
Oh no!
and you injure yourself?
Yeah.
Ref, time out. My partner just fell and hurt himself. I can't continue without a partner. This game has to be 1-on-1. Me and the ape.
So wait, if it's just you and the ape, does that mean like I can't die then?
I'm just saying that. No one has to.
I like the idea that you want.
Ape. I think the ape is just runs over and starts cradling Bobby in his arms.
Well,
Just
speaking of, Hayden, it is your turn. And whatever whatever your setup is, if you choose to set up, that's it. But it's either way, it's gonna end badly for Sally.
I will choose to resolve it.
All right.
So the gorilla leaves.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And starts cradling
Bobby.
And what I think is the gorilla sees Bobby get hurt and realizes that Bobby's hurt pretty badly, like too bad to play anymore, and recalls that the last thing that was said was the ref, Sally, yelling, "Put him in a body bag." Now, the gorilla was tricked into playing so hard and dirty and is enraged that he was used as a tool and comes after Sally.
Oh,
Yes.
shit.
And she smacks the gun right out of his hands and takes it for herself. I assume it's a girl.
So now the
Alright,
gorilla has a gun and says, "I'm the referee now." A la
Oh
Captain
my God,
Phillips.
that gorilla can talk.
Gorilla Grodd?
No, it's Monsieur Malat.
Oh, yeah. So does that mean Bobby's the brain?
Well, you get to resolve it,
Kill.
Hayden. We just set it up.
Kill him,
So now the-
Musala.
So the gorilla has a gun pointing at Sally.
So, Sally, how does this end for you?
I don't want to say I die, but...
Well, don't say you die. Figure something else out that doesn't end well for you.
Okay.
Well, I mean, already not being the referee and not having the gun is something to work with.
Yeah, being held hostage by a gorilla is pretty
Yeah,
bad.
and you could end it right there with you being held hostage by
I think that's as bad as it can get for me right now.
All right, so at that point, then, George the mouth shitter says, "I'm the ref now, and it's you," and he points at Gilberto, "and you," and he points at Scott. All right. Speaking of Scott, Ryan, it is your turn. Do you wish to set up or resolve?
I'm gonna
Bear in mind, the last to die is wild, so it can be black or white.
I'm going to resolve.
All right, so you get to choose whether this ends well or poorly for you.
Yes.
All right, so the setup is, I think it's pretty much set up. It's you and Gilberto, mano y mano.
You see, Gilberto, as you look in the stands, amongst the sea of black and white striped shirts and domino masks, you see one lone figure up in the top in the back. A man with red skin wearing a white suit. He says nothing to you, but his gaze seems to pierce your very soul.
Huh, that's a very handsome man. Oh, I'm a handsome man.
And you seem to hear a voice chuckle in your head. You're right. I am a very handsome man.
Can I see
course.
this suited character as well?
I don't think you can. It's like Pennywise. He only appears to whom he wants to.
All right,
I want to make
so
a deal.
in this game...
Wait, wait.
Oh, you want to make a deal?
If you want to make a deal, he can be seen by you.
I think I'll do anything to win this match.
All right, time stops, and the red devil man, because I don't, again, saying that he has red skin can lead us into
I should have
dangerous
specified
territory.
red skin
I think
and
the
horns.
American. Okay.
All right.
Red
So
skin and
he is a devil man.
He's a devil man crybaby.
Yeah, so he's literally a red, bright cherry apple red man.
Time stops for you, Scott, and you feel a hand tap you on the shoulder, and you turn around and you see A man with bright red skin and horns, wearing a white suit. He says, I felt your need. What is it that you desire more than anything?
I have to win. I have to beat Gilberto.
The power to crush your enemies is a great power indeed, but all things come with a price, Scott. What is it that you hold most dear to you?
I will give you anything.
Well, I think you get to resolve it, so I think you get to decide what it...
I have it ready, but I don't want Scott to know what he's giving up yet.
Okay. Then we have a deal, Scott Button. I just hope it was worth it. And he disappears in a cloud of smoke.
Okay.
All right. Do you want this to be a white die or a black die, Scott?
Well, I guess it'll be a black die, but it'll be kind of a little bit of both.
All right, but it'll be black.
Okay.
You want it because when you roll it, it'll be a black.
Yes, so
die.
it'll be black. So Scott
Okay.
goes to serve, and he throws the shuttlecock up, and he winds back, and he slams the most powerful serve that anyone has ever seen.
It breaks the sound
It
barrier.
breaks
Just
the sound barrier, and you hear an explosion as the shuttlecock hits the ground in a huge shockwave that temporarily blinds and deafens everyone around. And as the smoke clears, Scott looks and he goes, I've won! I've won! I've won the game! And he sees that just behind the court, his van has been destroyed. And he says, I've won! I've won nothing.
And you hear a voice in your head, Scott. But at what cost?
All right, so that's where we're stopped, and now we'll do the aftermath. All right, so this is where we determine how the whole thing ends. All right, and
Jesus,
what we have to do.
This started in one place and it ended somewhere.
Yeah, remember it was about like drug memorabilia and like a van.
Then like Faustian deals over like your life and death badminton games.
All right, so here's what you're going to do. We're going to take turns, and we're going to roll all our dice. And what we do is we add all the black dice together and all the white dice together from our piles. And then you subtract the highest number from the lowest number. All right, so now I have a black 13. Sly, you roll 2 black die and then 2 white die.
Okay.
All right, so you have a white 2. Now your turn, Hayden. Roll 2 black, 2 white. All right, so you got a white 2 as well.
So for black, I got a 3, and for white, I got a 6. So it's a 3 white, right?
Exactly. We're going to go to the aftermath table on page 58, and I got a 13, so I did awesome. Insanely great. You will emerge not only unscathed, but if there's a girl involved, she's dropping her drawers. You might even get rich off this caper. Who knows? Time for a new ride. Bobby, after seeing his van blow up, is upset. Not Bobby, me.
Handsome man.
Gilberto.
Yeah, handsome man. After seeing his van blow up, he's upset. But then he looks down and he sees that he's wearing those gorgeous white pants and that pastel blazer and shirt, and he's be-sunglassed. And he gets up and he looks at his hands and he looks younger and trimmer, and he says, "I'm back, baby. I'm back. Thank you so much."
It's like It Follows. You had to pass it on to someone else.
All right. He looks in the audience, and the mouth shitter is agog. He's like, "My God, I don't want to shit in his mouth. I want him to shit in my mouth."
I want him to shit in my mouth too.
And he's like, "Relax, boys. There's enough shit for everyone's mouths." And I walk off with all of the henchmen, arm in arm.
That's beautiful.
And that is Gilberto's ultimate fate.
Are we going in regular order?
Yeah, we're gonna go with
Because
Sly.
mine is so perfect.
All right, so I think mine's perfect too. So mine is White 2, Merciless. You might not be dead on the outside, but sure as hell dead on the inside. The emotional or mental wounds you have suffered will never heal. The future is a brick wall. So what I'm thinking, before Georgia Shitter leaves, he should say, there's a technicality that I forgot the rules for who he shits on or not.
Because you guys technically lost, so we should have killed Gilberto, but we didn't. But you should get the shit. You're the
Yeah, so I get the shit in my mouth, and I will never be clean ever again.
You're like Lady Macbeth, but with shit in their mouth instead.
Yes.
It will not wash off.
Out, damn shit.
Oh, I've spent many nights saying that myself.
All right, next up is Sally, who also got a White 2.
So here's what the lowdown is.
Last we saw, a gorilla was pointing a gun at you.
When all this happens, when the shuttlecock smashes into the ground and everything goes white, the gorilla jumped and the gun fired. And all you see whenever the smoke clears is just a trail of blood leading off. Cut to Sally on a plane to and then
Going
back
home.
to then cut to an open field of white snow. I'm covered in furs. I'm freezing. Clutching my wounded arm. It never quite healed properly.
I thought you were going to have, like, you had to replace a part of your body with the gorilla or something like that.
And I have a gorilla arm. I had to go back home because the practices were not legal back in the States. And I had to flee because I am a wanted criminal. I'm known throughout Roscovia as the gorilla woman.
Beautiful.
Right. And so finally we got...
I'm pretty good with my fate, actually. I think this is great. I'm very happy as the gorilla woman. I'm like Space Boy.
I can't top
So
that.
Scott...
So I got a White 3, which is grim, which, given the circumstance of me sitting in front of the ruins of my van, I've never read a more appropriate pre-scripted ending. The stress and trauma from your little adventure are going to haunt you forever. Bits of your soul are destroyed. And you are missing a piece or two. In a few years, children are going to cry when you get too close. All your plans have ended in complete ruin.
We cut to a shot of Scott behind the counter of Handsome Hobbies. Just sad, alone, dejected.
Not just behind the counter.
It's Handsome Mania.
Sorry, Handsome Mania.
Scott works in Handsome Mania more as a mascot than an employee. He sits behind a counter.
He's a badminton, the logo.
Yeah, he sits behind the counter holding a steering wheel from an old van that is installed to the counter as he just turns it, staring blankly in front of him into a mirror. And at all moments, every time he lets go of that wheel, he sees the man in the white suit and the red skin standing over his shoulder. Just...
Was it worth it, Scott?
Thank you.
Was it worth it?
And I'm going to add that Hayden, police officer, ended up finding the cocaine bobbleheads, and in their depression, ended up snorting all the cocaine and developing a horrible, horrible addiction.
Hey, let's leave Hayden police officer alone. He's been through a lot, okay? He lost his husband.
Hayden police officer. All right, so that is Fiasco. What did you guys think?
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Good God, what is this game?
I would love to see if Hayden and I could ever play D&D or any sort of tabletop RPG where it doesn't just get so weird.
Well, that's the great thing about Fiasco is that's literally the point.
Oh, that was great, though.
I mean, I get a gorilla arm and I'm trudging through the frozen wasteland of Roscovia.
I love that Gilberto ended up with a happy ending.
He's the only one. Everyone else got almost crushed.
I love that just halfway through magic exists.
Yeah, I'm doing like simple magic tricks, and you guys turned it into actual.
Hey, didn't you make like a magic, like the guy's dad's hat appear out of nowhere? That was real magic.
You guys said that. All I said was I pulled a hat.
Yeah, I yes-anded into the mystic, baby.
That's improv, baby. It's not real improv until someone's a sorcerer.
Yep. That's what every episode of Spontaneation ends with, like. It's like the last scene of The Witch. It's just like...
Oh, man. So, can we come up with a title for what this story ended up being?
The Worstminton, I think, is a good one.
The Worstminton. Okay. Oh, man. Thank you, everyone. I want to go ahead and thank Hayden.
And thank you.
As well as Ryan.
Thank you,
Thank you so much. And, of course... Sly, so again, great to have you on our show for the first time.
Thanks for having me.
You've been fantastic. And everyone, please check out both Oops, I Talk Politics and Divisive Issues, as well as we'll get it right next year, but we've already talked about that show enough.
Oh, and even though last time I was here, I plugged Sly's D&D show, DM It All on YouTube. But, so, Sly, do you want to just... give a better synopsis of what that is than me?
Yeah, so
Please.
it's just we talk about D&D history, walk through old modules. We're gonna have the next episode is gonna be about Diversity of the Monk class and how it changed over the editions and stuff like that.
Oh boy, howdy, has it changed?
Yes.
And you guys are also streaming a lot, right?
Oh yes, we're streaming RPG Crits where we stream. So far it's been bad RPGs, but we're gonna do good ones hopefully eventually soon.
Are you
Do
gonna
this on Twitch?
Yeah, and Twitch. But we have a YouTube channel for like edited versions of the Twitch stream.
And that's
Awesome. If people want to see your Twitch streams, what do they look? What do they search for? DM It All?
Oh yeah, right now it's DM It All. It's gonna be changed to RPG Crits soon. But
RPG Crits.
Yeah.
You should do a series on hex crawls because I'm building a massive hex crawl for my home campaign right now, and I need help.
Hex crawls are pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I do cover a few of them so far. So
yeah, it's like a giant desert with like it's like fantasy Mad Max. It's gonna be great.
That sounds awesome. Actually,
sounds awesome.
All right, so next time we'll be back with a full-on not actual episode, but a full-on canon episode of the primary campaign.
Wait, this isn't in the same universe? This isn't in Rael?
Oh, I didn't say it's not.
somewhere out there.
I was trying to find a way to tie this into the Halcyon City universe. At some point, I was gonna threaten to like you boys are gonna be sent uptown to Halcyon City Penitentiary.
But we have been discussing getting on Patreon for a bit, and we're thinking about doing a monthly Fiasco episode for Patreon bonus.
I would give money to that.
I'll pay money for that too.
I will not pay money for it because I'm on the show.
I don't want to hear myself talk ever, so why would I pay money for myself?
That's why I don't edit.
But this episode's obviously free because you're listening to it. But consider it a preview. Thank you so much for listening to They See Me Rollin'. We hope you have a great time. Sorry it took a while to get you an episode. And we'll see you very soon.
Good night, all you beautiful shuttlecocks, and thanks for all the sticky wickets.